A routine mission against Islamist militants, criminal gangs and bandits who've been terrorizing northwest Nigeria for years, raiding villages and kidnapping residents for ransom and enslavement. But instead, it resulted in what's been described as a needless tragedy, with at least 85 civilians, possibly more, killed after an army drone struck a village in Kaduna state during a Muslim festival celebrating the birth of the Prophet Muhammad. When the drone first attacked, survivors rushed in to recover the mangled bodies that were reportedly hanging from trees and rooftops. But then another drone strike hit, killing more people and raising the casualty figure dramatically. It's not the first time such an incident has occurred. Within the last 6 years, more than 400 civilians have been killed in so-called accidental air raids. Drones are, of course, not autonomous, but do have human operators at the other end who are watching what they're doing. So why such wanton unprofessionalism?
It's regrettable, but we will do everything possible to prevent such an occurrence happening again in the conduct of our operations going forward. I've gone around to visit and interact with the members of the community. I've come again now to the hospital to see the injured. And this will help me to know the level of expertise that I need to put on the table in conducting the inquiry into what happened on Sunday, so that that inquiry can come up with relevant recommendations that will guide us in the conduct of our operations going forward.
The Nigeria Army bombing shows incompetence from the military, Nigerian security challenges and failures analysis. Please guys, watch the video. Remember to like, share this video and leave your opinion in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.
What happened in Kaduna is very, very condemnable. The Nigerian army has no reason to continue using heavy munitions from the air, especially near the city centers or suburbs. If it were to be in Sambisa Forest or the massive forest in Niger State, it would have been acceptable. But we all know that these guys are not even there. They are nearer to the cities and villages. The fact that they have these drones doesn't mean they will no longer be sending ground troops to go and battle these guys physically. Thinking that, hey, we've got drones, we don't need to expose our troops, we'll just battle them from the air. No, it actually increases the risk of striking civilians. So why, with all the sufferings going on in this country, people endure a lot? On the highways, you are talking about armed robbers, you are talking about police, even the army are on the highways these days. And after the relief that you've gotten to where you're going, you are still hit in your home while you are asleep. This is very, very condemnable. These kind of drones are not meant for striking alone. They can use it for serious surveillance. And considering the fact that they have high resolution cameras, that means they have a better view than even a pilot piloting a fighter jet. So they should be able to distinguish between children, women, and adult people that don't look like combatants. So why always the mistake? And the worst part is that this is not the first time. In fact, this is the second time this year. In January this year, there was this kind of strike in Nasarawa State. In fact, since a few years ago, there have been many strikes like this in Borno, Adamawa, and many other places. Several months ago, they announced that they conducted a strike in the southeast. You don't conduct this kind of strikes, especially places you know that there are high population. It is very, very dangerous. When they continue making all these kind of mistakes, that means it has become incompetence. It's no longer a mistake. It's very unreasonable to be using these kind of munitions in city centers and within Nigerian territory. They should be able to be using ground troops to bring the combat to them. That's why these guys have a leeway. You hear them block a highway and conduct searches and do all sorts of things. Without opposition, no one will attack them. Because the Nigerian army personnel do not want to do their job, they have to do this with ground troops. That's the only way to end this. Even Nigerian politicians don't care. They are still partying in Dubai while their country is burning. If this were to happen in another country, their leaders would have rushed back to their country to calm the situation and condole with the victims. But they don't care. Nigerian life is worth nothing to them. Even the police IG went to Dubai. No one knows the role he's going to play. Are there other countries' police IG attending the COP28 in Dubai, when he is supposed to be taking care of the insecurity and making sure that Nigerians are safe, but he's busy in Dubai doing virtually nothing? It is time Nigerians stopped accepting mistakes or errors from the army. These kind of situations are very dangerous. They should be more careful. In fact, the people that authorize the strike must be brought to book. That's the only way to make them more careful in the future. And it might get worse if the police succeeds in acquiring combat helicopters. Who knows what they will do with it? It is time Nigeria starts to hold people accountable for wrongdoing, no matter how highly placed the people are, whether they are in the police, the army. Nobody should be above the law. Maybe Nigerian army feels that they no longer need to be deploying troops in certain situations since they have sophisticated aerial equipment. But that's not the way. Look at what is happening in Israel. Despite having the most advanced aerial equipment, they still have ground troops on the ground. Nigerian security agents should do their job. If they don't want to do it, let them give way to allow others who want to do the job to get it done. They can't be fighting insurgency for how many years without end. And this is the Nigerian army we are talking about. We know their capability. We know what they did in Liberia and other West African countries. So why is it taking forever to solve the security challenges? Nigeria has spent billions of dollars the past decade alone buying heavy equipment for the military, but they have nothing to show for it. They cannot justify all the heavy spending, and they continue to demand more from the national budget. So isn't it time they redeem their image and solve the Nigerian security challenges? It doesn't make sense to continue buying military hardware when Nigerians don't see results. They need to first deliver with the little or the massive equipment that they have already. If they don't deliver, Nigeria should no longer budget huge amounts for military hardware. The strategy by the military high command is not working, or maybe they are intentionally doing it that way to make sure the insecurity never ends, so that security votes will continue coming. Let's assume they are not doing it intentionally, but whether you have military background or an intelligence officer, you must know that if they say there are 100 people here in a particular village, what kind of deployment do you need to at least get 90 to 100% of them? Obviously, from the air will not do the job. When you strike, maybe about 30 or 40% of them will be gotten, and the others will disperse and go and regroup to come back and strike again. So the cycle never ends. But when you send in ground troops, it's only ground troops that can chase them to wherever they are going. Even if it takes 2 days, 1 week, they will continue chasing them till they get all of them 100%. That is how it is done. Even the police, they are not supposed to be saying, we got this number of people, this one was wounded, they ran away. Ran away to where? You are supposed to get all of them 100%. Continue chasing them, even if it takes 1 year, continue chasing them till you get all of them. That's the highest deterrent that will prevent anyone from committing a crime in the future. Because he knows he will not get away, he will never run away, that he will be caught. That alone will discourage anyone from doing it in the first place. Because if they know they won't come back, they won't try it. They wouldn't even contemplate it in the first place. The greatest confidence is the fact that, hey, these people won't even come. Even if we like, we take 1 hour, 2 hours, nothing will happen. They won't show up. We'll just finish our operation and leave. That's the confidence. So when they are ready to fight insecurity, Nigerians will know. Nigerians will see the difference. All they're doing right now is collecting salaries. They are not working. Imagine citizens calling a police line and telling them there is a crime going on right now, that they should deploy men immediately, only to be told by the police that they do not have petrol in their patrol vans. Can you imagine? So how are we going to solve security challenges if the operatives are not ready to fight? Do you know how much insecurity costs Nigerian economy? When you build a home, you are forced to install metal bars on your windows for improved protection. You are forced to erect high walls and in some cases install electric fence wires. All this to improve security in your home. Some also go the extra mile of employing private security guards to guard their home. All these extra expenditures still doesn't guarantee that you will have improved security. In many cities across Nigeria, there is no nightlife. Business is supposed to continue booming even at night till up to 12 p.m. or 24 hours, depending on the kind of business. People work on shifts abroad. But that's not the case in Nigeria. People are forced to get home at dusk because of insecurity. So when we solve insecurity, it will seriously improve and expand the economy because people will earn more. More people will work on shifts. Many people will work at night. The economy will continue to grow and boom. People will be able to travel to wherever they want across Nigeria without fear. And the more people hit the road, the more businesses grow because they must stop along the road and buy something. They will lodge at hotels. Travelers create jobs for vulcanizers and mechanics along the highway. The limit of the expansion of the economy is limitless if there is security in the country. So here's hoping that they will solve the security situation. Everyone will be better for it. Even a police commissioner will no longer need to move around in long convoys because of insecurity. Moving around in long convoys shows that they have failed in their job of securing us. Because why do they need to move around in long convoys in the first place? It is simply because of insecurity.